This video is going to step you through the plugins I'm using. This is actually version 2.0, as I've done quite a bit of updating and revamping the way I'm setting up my sites, particularly for site speed improvements, using a new theme, etc., etc. So I'm going to show you basically all my new sites are set up pretty much identically. So what I show you in CycleBaron is how I do it across all my niche sites. So the front end, not so important here. Let's dive right into the plugins list, and you can just see what I'm using. I've made some changes over the years. I think we all do as new plugins come in and better options become available. So quickly, I am going to run you through this. I use adaptive images for WordPress because that resizes the image for the proper device side. AdThrive Ads puts the ads on the site. Astra Pro is a plugin that adds the Pro features to the Astra theme, which is my new theme. You can check out the theme setup video also in this course. Async JavaScript is a site speed plugin that I use. Now, I'm not going to go through and give away all the settings for the site speed tools. That's a premium module that's in the bundle. So for people who buy the bundle, it's for them. You can buy it yourself. It's not fair to them. They bought it for site speed, and then I just reveal it all here. Auto-optimize, that's a tongue twister. That is also a site speed plugin, and Bluehost plugin comes with Bluehost hosting. Just to recap, this site is hosted on Bluehost. I pay roughly $5 a month for the hosting. And the reason I do that, because all my other sites are on another host, which is rocket.net. The reason I put it on Bluehost is I just want to show that you can get good scores, that you can have a reasonably good performing site using low-cost shared hosting. Most people are getting started in this type of business. Don't have the funds to pay $30, $50, $100 a month for premium hosting. I didn't. I used Bluehost for years and years and years. They served me well. So for my demo site, which is CycleBaron, I thought it would be appropriate to also use Bluehost. Classic Editor. Okay, now what's going on here is I kept the Classic Editor on here. We're still kind of in a transition between dealing with content in Classic Editor, but also all new content being done in the Gutenberg block editor. Code snippets. This is a great little plugin, really lightweight. What it does, it allows you to add PHP code without actually having to go into the functions file. I get very, very nervous editing the functions file, whereas code snippets, I can just put it in there and, well, I don't know how to code PHP. I hire a coder if I need any sort of PHP code provided. I don't really do this a whole lot, but in the other video in terms of theme setup, I do have one important piece of code that I put in there, and you can check that out. It pertains to properly getting your infinite scroll set up. Featured image admin thumb. This is probably just to improve the thumbnail. I can't even remember why I would use that. Sometimes that happens. I find these very specific plugins I need for something. Flying Scripts is a site speed plugin as well. What it does is it actually prevents scripts that you indicate from actually loading on a page until someone takes an action. It helps get better scores. It's a little bit complicated because you got to know which scripts in JavaScript you want to include in there. Again, that is in more detail in the site speed course. Head and footer code. Now, this is what I used to use, and I unfortunately got to keep it. I use this for inputting FAQ schema, and I was able to input the various schema markup code on individual blog posts. Now that I'm using Gutenberg, I use the Gutenberg add-on, ultimate add-ons for Gutenberg block library. It's by the same company that does Astra theme, and they have an FAQ schema block, so it's easier to use. I don't have to do all that, but unfortunately, because a lot of posts already have the head use this for the schema, I've got to keep that on there unless I want to go and change them all over, and I don't really want to do that. Insert AMZ Images is a fantastic little plugin, and it does one thing. It does it really well, and it just inserts Amazon product images into your posts. That's it. It doesn't include buttons or any other fancy tables or anything like that. It just inserts an image through the API, and it works. It's fast. It's easy. You can just insert it with a button right in the post. I recommend it. Unless you're doing a lot of Amazon stuff, I would get something more robust like Amalinks Pro or AAWP or Lasso. Those are all very good, but they're going to do a lot more than what this is. I tend to just insert images. Perf Matters is a site speed plugin. Really like that one. It's really good. Short codes ultimate. I'm going away from this. I have to keep this on my sites because I've got a lot of short codes throughout the sites. The smaller sites where I can get rid of the most of them, I am actually doing that. But I have one site in particular where I've got it in so many articles and everything to go through is just so much work. Simple TOC. This is really good. Okay, so originally I used Table of Contents Plus. All right. This worked great for the classic editor. Not so good in Gutenberg, so I need to find a replacement. Simple TOC works. Very, very good. I use that now on all my sites. It's a table of contents block, inserts. It works with infinite scroll. That's the trouble with finding a good table of contents plugin is it'll actually display and link properly on the second, third, fourth articles that come into view on infinite scroll. Not all table of contents plugins do that. Another big change was I switched from Yoast plugin to SEO Framework plugin. This is a much lighter plugin. You can turn a lot of various features off so that it's not loading the code. It's just a leaner plugin for sites. I like it. It does everything I need it to do, and it does a good job. So I switched to it. No regrets. I had no impact on any traffic. You know, I get a little nervous switching from SEO plugins, right? You got to use the SEO data transfer plugin. It's free. It's just a temporary install to transfer. If you're going to switch your SEO plugins, make sure you research and read up on how to transfer the SEO data. You want to make sure you do that. Just simply deleting an old SEO plugin and installing new is not going to transfer that. So you got to do it properly. Ultimate add-ons for Gutenberg. This is the block library I use for Gutenberg. It's, like I said, by the people who created Astra. It's got a lot of nice features. There's some things I don't really like about it. For the most part, though, it does a good job. WP Featherlight is my new light box for images. I like light boxes because I use a lot of images, so I add this to every site. It's very light. I used to use Foodbox. It had loaded with tons of features. I don't know for sure, but I suspect given the feature set it was fairly bulky, so I decided to switch it to WP Featherlight. And then WP Rocket is also a site speed plugin I'm using, various settings and all that. Basically, WP Rocket, Perf Matters, Auto-Optimize, and Async JavaScript are all working together to improve my page speed score. So if you want to find out exactly how I'm doing all that, you can check out the site speed module in the course bundle. So those are the plugins I'm currently using. You know, I'm going to keep the old video here. I like to keep the old stuff. I'll mark it as old or previous setup. Generally speaking, it may not indicate this on CycleBaron, but for my other sites, I mean, I have pared down the plugins tremendously. Like basically now the rule is unless a plugin is making me a lot of money or it's offering something that helps traffic or speed, I'm not really interested in using it. So, you know, I don't want bells and whistles. It's not worth it anymore. Keep the plugins to an absolute minimum. Thanks for watching.